Tom Byrne, Senior Vice President at Moody's. Thank you so much for joining us. Is there a real risk that Japan will lose its credit rating sooner rather than later?
We don't think the earthquake will produce a fiscal crisis, if that's what you're asking. Of course, it's a very fluid situation. We don't know exactly what the economic magnitude of the damage is. Neither do we know exactly what the fiscal costs will be. We're benchmarking, however, off the Kobe earthquake in 1995.
Now, Tom, I was going through some of the notes that actually Moody sent over, and it's very clear that you say Japan's economy will recover in the earthquake. We're not exactly sure when, but it will recover, although the fiscal consequences are less predictable. How worried are you about these fiscal consequences?
Well, if we use Kobe as a benchmark, the direct fiscal costs were something about 1% of GDP, a little more than that. The economy actually grew a bit faster in the year after the Kobe earthquake, which will help cushion the fiscal effect, of course. But the fact is that that's still a bit more debt than the government had expected. Most likely they'll have to issue more than 44 trillion in new JGBs this year, again more than expected. For us, it's still really the long term that we're concerned about, whether the government will put into place a comprehensive economic and fiscal reform program.
And of course, we don't exactly know the extent. I mean, we're still counting the human loss and the tragic devastation that we're seeing. When will we have a clearer picture, actually, of how much money this will all cost the government?
Probably in the weeks ahead, we'll have a much better picture. The economic costs, the damage will take probably longer to get estimates on. So, yeah, we're looking at that, but definitely, I mean, in terms of this earthquake versus the Kobe earthquake, the loss of life is more severe and more serious. Whether the economic consequences are more serious, we don't know yet.